Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video we're gonna talk about the final update for Street Fighter V and just give you my overall thoughts and opinions on it as someone who did some very thorough coverage for it. Leading up to this update, Capcom let us know that it's gonna be the final update for the game. In the previous seasons, they have done mid-season balance patches. They weren't like dramatic patches, but they were affecting usually a couple of characters. And we are not sure at this time if this is gonna be the case for this season or not. But as of right now, it doesn't seem to be the case. And I will say, leading up to this update as well, Capcom kinda released a trailer that was very exciting. When we got to see the trailer for the definitive update, it seemed like the game is gonna move into a new direction. Like they're gonna make it more fun. They're gonna make it more fun oriented, a lot of characters getting new moves, a lot of stuff that seemed actually crazy, right, at the time. But as we got our hands on the patch note and as we got our hands on the patch itself, I can't help, at least for me personally, to feel somewhat misled or maybe disappointed, because honestly I don't think the patch is as significant as I had personally hoped. If anything, the nerfs are the impressive or significant part of this balance patch. When I really think about this balance patch, or everything considered, the first thing that will pop into my head is Urien and his EX headbutt, and obviously Luke being head and shoulders above everyone else. And I'm not sure if that is the look that you wanna have for the final update for the game. I guess it comes down to like what should you expect from the final balance patch, and maybe this one is on me because going into it I did expect a small changes, because honestly, like I said, I do think that Street Fighter V was in a good place. Obviously until Luke came out, and Luke, even though he was amazing last season, I still think he was kinda competitive with some of the other top tiers. But Capcom did nerf almost every one of them with the exception of him. At least he got like some very small changes, so he's clearly the best character at the moment. And obviously if you take a look at my Luke changes video, you will find that it have by far the highest number of comments, and it seems like a lot of people are kinda annoyed and feel like Capcom is forcing Luke on us, right? They are shoving him down our throats. It's very much, if you used to watch like WWE, it's very much like how WWE was pushing Roman Reigns down your throat, right? It feels to be kind of the same deal. I personally like Luke, but you can't help but feel like Capcom is pushing him way too hard to promote Street Fighter 6. They want him to be relevant by any means possible, and that is somewhat disappointing. The issue now is when we play Street Fighter V, let's say Street Fighter 6 already came out, but you felt nostalgic, you wanted to give Street Fighter V another go, play it for a couple of days maybe, when you will run into this balance patch where Luke is clearly the best, right? So that is a little bit disappointing. Another aspect that I found to be kinda disappointing as well is that V-Shift didn't change whatsoever. The main issue with V-Shift isn't that I don't think it's a bad mechanic or like it's so unbalanced to a crazy degree. I just think that it favors some archetypes extremely heavily, especially the long range zoners, characters like Poison, Dalsim and Minat, and none of them really got any amazingly hurtful nerfs as well. So it seems like Luke and long-limbed zoners are gonna be the best characters going forward into this next season, which is an odd direction for the game's balance. And like I'm not gonna lie, I even though I do play one of them, like admittedly I am a Poison player, right? Like I enjoy playing Poison, I really like her, but it feels weird that like Poison is very strong, Dalsim is very strong, Minat is probably going to be very strong as well, given that a lot of the other characters got nerfs. V-Shift is still the same. I don't know. And when you take a look at the buffs that most of the other characters got, like let's say the Ryu buffs, right? There was a very famous video by Daigo that was done by FGC translated, and Daigo said that like reuse changes ultimately they're not gonna matter that much. Kage maybe got more dramatic changes. Is he gonna be relevant? I mean, who knows? I honestly doubt it, personally. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. Juri got some pretty interesting changes, I think. She's probably the characters that had the best of luck in this patch, because even though her changes are subtle, I do think they're very important. And Alex kind of in the same way. Rose and Oro got some cool changes. Are they gonna be top tiers and relevant? I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. It feels like the nerfs are the main attraction here, right? Especially for characters like Urien, like Rashid, like Karen, like Cammy. And one thing I also find to be quite odd about it, and it is something that someone mentioned in the Urien video, that Capcom should pay attention to the fact that these games are played by everyone, not just pro players. What I find to be interesting is that the Cammy and Karen changes are very heavily directed towards pro circuits, right? Like, we're gonna make her crouching medium kick more whiff punishable. This is a change that the top 0.1% is gonna feel, right? While when you really think about it, the Urien change, like, yeah, that is gonna affect everyone. To a lesser extent, the Rashid change, yeah, that is gonna affect everyone. So it makes me wonder, like, why did they decide to go in that direction with a character like Urien? Personally, I still think that he shouldn't have had an EX headbutt to begin with, but he have had it for 6 years, and like, it's so alienating to the Urien players to take it away right now, right? I've talked about it in depth in the Urien video, so I will leave a link to that if you want to check it out. Another thing that is somewhat disappointing is that a lot of the low tiers, even though they got some changes, I don't think they're gonna matter. Like, for example, Zangief. Will the changes make Zangief so much better? I honestly doubt it. Like, he's still gonna struggle because the main issues didn't get solved. To an extent, I think a character like Mika as well. She did get a lot better. Is Mika good now? Honestly, I doubt it. Fang, and there is a long list of characters like that. Lucia, who is maybe the jury is still kinda out on this one. I think Lucia will be a lot better. Will she be like a competitive character? I don't know. Nicole is probably the character that got the most, so I am looking forward to him. But again, is Nicole doing something better than whatever of the top tiers are doing? Not really. So it's an interesting balance patch, and I think a lot of it should come down to what should we expect from a final update. Should the final update aim to make the game more fun? Should the final update aim to put the game in a state where it is at its best balancing, or is it just a shake-up? Is it just like shifting around some characters when it comes to like the tiers? Zeku got a lot of interesting changes, so I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place with it. But I will say, I feel somewhat disappointed. I had hoped for more. I wish more character got like really good, big and impactful changes, but that wasn't really the case. Even the ones that seemed kind of dramatic, like Falk and Ed, I think honestly they're not that big of a deal. Like, they're already doing what they were doing, but just a little bit better. And yeah, that is the direction that they decided to go in. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think this was a great balance patch? Do you think it was kinda lacking? Did you have more hopes, or were you maybe turned off by the nerfs to your characters? I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment below. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and stay safe.